Mike, were you impressed by the intraday bounce, or do you think there's quite a lot more to go in this?
Listen, you had to be. I mean, when I look at the day, it feels like it's a day where people that had risk were getting out of it, right? So last night you saw the cryptocurrency markets get hit pretty hard as kind of the first markets. The dollar, the short dollar is a big trade people have that got whacked against the euro, against sterling, against the emerging market currencies. You know, the S&P down, NASDAQ down, and then all of a sudden there was a chart that went around. Everyone saw record shorts in NASDAQ futures as hedges, and it looked like that just started getting covered during the day and accelerated into the close. And so one of those painful days where people's hedges didn't work, their core positions they lost on. And so I would think the broad trader today is going home licking his wounds. There's a lot of reasons for it, right? You got RBG. I think it just highlights how close we are to the election. And I think this volatility is probably here to stay. But we still have a lot of liquidity. And so you're going to be treacherous markets, I think, from here on out.
Why did gold fall today? And does that present a buying opportunity when it does fall on a risk-off day? You
know, gold fell because people are long it. When volatility goes up, when uncertainty goes up, the first thing people do is get out of positions that they have. And so if it was gold, if it was Bitcoin, if it was the S&P, bank stocks, anything that people were in today, they started selling. And so you had that kind of correlated risk off. And what was interesting is what kind of stopped the market, you know, was the short in the NASDAQ future. I think people have been selling a lot of NASDAQ futures to hedge their individual equities. The position got large and you saw a giant short covering in it. Again, interesting, the dollar didn't really budge off its lows today, or off its highs today, right? So if you were in the short dollar position, right, when the NASDAQ came back, you got no joy.
Right. And potentially another reason why gold fell, because the two move in opposite. Mike, so where are you on the big tech stocks? How much exposure should you have to those names, which have done really, really well all year long, but have really showed that at the signs of selling in the last few weeks, they get hit hard?
Yeah, listen, I still think we probably put the high in for the year in tech stocks, in Apple, in NASDAQ, and in Tesla. You know, we've got a big couple of days coming up with Battery Day in Tesla. My hunch is after that's over, you're going to see more sellers. And I think you probably put the high in NASDAQ, but we had a big correction, right? So you say you put the high in and 30% later in some of those names, it's a different risk reward. And people aren't going to give up easy. Right? This has been the horse that has won this year. People have made lots of money on it. And so if you look at the 1999 sell-off in the internet, after the big sell-off, you had the big rally back, and you don't make the old highs again and you sell off again. And I think we're going to be in one of these to and fro environments, high volatility going into this election.